When you think about some of the builds to Starcade, a lot of people think this build, especially with the attack with the Russians inside the cage and all that, that this was the best build to Starcade at that point. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. That'd be hard to beat the build with Harley.
Yeah, Flair for the gold.
Yeah, I mean the first one, the way Dusty put that together. I mean, it just. I mean, clearly that was him. So
So,
see how Dusty right there. I mean, that's all. That's a lost art now today.
do you remember there being controversy about the finish for this match?
I don't remember what it was.
Well, Dusty's gonna quote unquote beat you here, and
Yeah,
everyone in the crowd feels like they just saw a title switch and that Dusty's become the champion. But the next week on TV, it's announced that Dusty didn't actually win because the first referee was knocked out and you got the belt given back to you. And this is, I guess, maybe the first major quote unquote Dusty finish.
yeah. I didn't know yeah, that people love that finish. They hated it, but they loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got their 2 minutes being crazy. Then it did piss people off. People thought I didn't like that. I love that finish.
Michael McClanahan wants to know what was something you learned from working in the ring with Dusty?
Believe it or not, psychology. I mean, if that doesn't look real right there, nothing does.
Yeah. The idea that you're trying to make every movement count.
Yeah.
Steelers fan 8771 wants to know, coming off the angle in the Omni where you broke Dusty's leg and the infamous Hard Times promo from Dusty, do you think in hindsight he should have won clean at Starcade instead of 7 months later at the Bash? Probably. I mean, don't you think? Or
I
did you
can't.
like that
I
teasing
can't. Well,
giving
I
back
can't.
to you?
Tell me what we did at Starcade.
Well, what you just saw was it looks like Dusty won, but
Yeah.
give you the belt right back. So he didn't really win. I think in hindsight, if you had it to do over again, you'd probably keep it on him, right?
I guess. Yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember. Was I still traveling then?
Not like you were before, the territory thing was starting to die down, and,
Yeah.
I guess you still were, but not like you were before.
Yeah.
86 is gonna be mostly Crockett.
But
Still a bunch
still,
of touring, but still
still,
Crockett's home base.
still traveling quite a bit though. I think.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
maybe that's the reason.
I think the reason was Dusty was the booker.
Yeah,
Why would you leave a job where you're making more money? People don't realize it. The first year I had the belt, I made $50,000 less than I made working for Crockett.
really?
Yeah, because I didn't draw any money. Who's Ric Flair? I had only been on a super channel a couple times. Harley kept saying,
You weren't
"Yeah,
established yet as a name.
yeah," and people. I mean, they knew who Ric Flair was, but what does that mean? I mean, let's not run to the arena. And of course, nobody. I have to wrestle all these guys an hour every night. Half of them never wrestled 15 minutes.
Right.
So it wasn't exactly the greatest run of my life. And I really thought I was ready to be the champion. We've talked about this before, but until you go out and travel around and wrestle guys that haven't had, I mean, all I was wrestling my whole career were top guys from Wahoo to Jack Mulligan to Dusty to Steamboat. I mean, all these great guys. And then to step out of that box, that comfort zone, and travel around the country wrestling guys that had never wrestled 15 minutes, much less an hour, which was the deal. Because when the NWA was in its peak, the champion either got his Duke raised or you won an hour. There was no in between.